Just a quick look at the wash after it's had a flat coat. So both these pieces were treated the same way. So I airbrushed the wash on, and then I used the water on the brush, dabbed it off, and cleaned it up that way. Same as this one. Some areas I used the cotton bud or paper towel if I thought it was a bit heavy. So just to check before I go spraying everything, I put a flat coat on that so you can see it knocks it back more. It's still dirty looking, but so keep in mind that when you put a clear coat over this wash, it'll knock it back. I've applied the wash on the underside, as you can see, via airbrush. Careful, when you touch it, pigment everywhere. The tail, or the end of the tail, I've done as much as I want to go with it. So I've used the same methods with this, with the heavy rivets. I'm just putting water. I'm not going to do it just yet because I don't want to oh, I guess I can. I'll come back to it, but I putting the water on like so. I'm trying to just work in panels, and then try and dry your brush off and come back through and knock it back. That's my first step, and then I'll wait for that to dry, and then I'm going to come back in with the paper towel and cotton buds and clean up where I want to. So you can see here's what we started with, and this is the end result. And that hasn't had the clear coat yet. When the clear coat goes on, I'll knock it back a bit more. So it's I'm still trying to get my head around this wash. Honestly, it's like I said, it's the first time I've used it, and it's quite different to what I'm used to normally. But it's I'm getting there with how I want it. It's just a bit of a slower process because it's something new to me. Oh, a bit of a progress update. So I've done from here back. I've wiped it back to where I want it. So hopefully you can see excuse me, difference there with the sheen. I haven't given it the clear coat yet. I'll probably do the whole thing and then give it a clear coat. So I've left, it's the look I want. It's dirty, grime in around the rivet heads. See it over the numbers and the letters. So it's still got a, once I do the fuselage, like I mentioned, there's still heaps of small bits to go on. So I'll do the fuselage, flat coat it, clear coat, and then I'm going to start putting on all the parts, like just on the front cockpit part of the fuselage is you see where all the holes are. They're all grab handles, and it's, for me, I believe it's easier to put them on later, because when you're doing washes and stuff like this, you're just going to break it off. So that is where I'm at. 5 hours later, or around that. It's been a while. So I've just finished rubbing the wash back as to how I want it. So it hasn't had the clear coat yet, so I'll be doing that next, and then that'll, like I said, it'll knock back the effect a bit. and I'll see how that looks. But hopefully it'll be alright, because I do not want to do all that again. Oh. They're in the... I'm pretty impressed, because although I have if you heard during the build, you hear something rattling inside. That's one of the overhead control panels that came off early on, because they both don't fit properly. I had to wedge them in, and then when I put the top on, it pushed one off. So when I get to the stage of removing the mask, I'll have to work out how to glue that back up in there with some angled tweezers or something. And I've also managed to break off the pipes that go to the landing gear legs, and unfortunately I've got one I can replace, but unfortunately I did not know I broke the other one off, and it was lying on the floor, and my wheels on my chair, I rolled over it and squashed it. So I'll be probably just do some lead wire to replace them and paint them in. Good thing about such a big model with cables and that hanging off everywhere is people may not pick up on little things like that. Although I can blend it in anyway. But so yeah, that's where it's at. So yeah, I've still got a lot to go. Probably do. I might start with when I do the clear coat, now I might start putting these windows in. So the clear parts, I'll mask them up separately, paint the frame, weather them, and then glue them in. That's my plan anyway. Hopefully it works that way. When they're in, then I can do all these handles, grab handles and whatnot, rails that go all over it. And then there's still obviously the engines, the filters, rotor, drive, rotor head, the shafts, the shafts, drive shafts for the tail rotor that go along the back of the spine, and all the crane, smaller cranes that hang on the side of it. So yeah, it's turning into an epic build.